Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Mr. Royan's coming at you with a fresh lesson today. And this one is about sentences. Now, I know you read this sentence, it says, Jane dropped the jar. But I'm about to blow your mind because we are going to dissect this sentence and realize how much is really in there. Now, it says Jane dropped the jar. Every sentence has two parts though, guys. It has a subject and a predicate. I hope those are words you've heard before, or they're at least, they're not like, a subject is who or what the sentence is about. Okay? Who or what the sentence is about. I'm going to use blue to underline the subject. Jane. That's my subject. Who or what this sentence is about. It's about Jane. Jane's a Butterfingers. She drops the jar. The predicate, I'm going to use red. The predicate is a little more complicated. Not super complicated, but it's what the subject is. It's what the subject is, or what the subject does. What the subject is, or what the subject does. So what does the subject do here? Jane, usually you underline the predicate twice. Jane dropped the jar. Subject, who or what it's about. Predicate, what is the subject, or what does the subject do? What the subject is, or what the subject does. Let's write that down. Subject. What the sentence is about. Who or what? Yeah, who or what the sentence is about. Predicate. Predicate is the second part of a sentence. It is about two things. It is what the subject is. It's what the subject is. Oops. Or, you guys remember what I said? Or what the subject does. Or what the subject does. And when something, an easy way to think of it is when somebody's doing something, it's usually an action. So the predicate typically will follow a verb, what a subject does. Put a subject there, not just does for you. Or what a subject does. Okay, so predicate, what the subject is or what a subject does, and a subject is what a sentence is about. So let's go back here. Jane is our subject. Jane dropped the jar. Subject, Jane. Predicate, she dropped the jar. That's what the subject does. She drops the jar. And we're going to look at another sentence here. The wooden boat sailed out of the harbor. The wooden boat sailed out of the harbor. What's our subject here? Let me use blue again for that. Well, what is it about? Who or what is it about? Well, it's about a boat, right? That's a subject. It's about a boat. What's our predicate? What does this boat do? It sailed, right? Okay, easy enough. We found our subject, which is a subject. Who or what the sentence is about. It's about that boat, right? And we found our predicate, which was what the subject is or what a subject does. What a subject is, it's not sailed, but it did. It sailed, the verb, it went sailing, right? But we're going to stop and we're going to talk about complete subjects and complete predicates now. A complete subject is everything about the subject. The wooden boat. It's describing the wooden boat. Complete predicate is the same idea. It's everything about the predicate. Sailed out of the harbor. The wooden boat, complete subject, because it's describing the subject, the wooden boat. Complete predicate, sailed out of the harbor. The subject is a wooden boat. Complete predicate, sailed out of the harbor. That's what the wooden boat did. We're going to keep looking at more examples. He laughed. Well, what's the subject here? Who or what? He, right? What's the predicate? That's what the subject does. What the subject is or does. The subject laughed. He is not a laugh, but he did laugh. The dog barked. Well, what's the subject here? Who or what is it about? It's about a dog. And what's the predicate? What does the subject do? It barks, right? It's barked. The mailman walked up the stairs. What do you think? What is the subject? Who or what is it about? The mailman walked up the stairs. It's about a mailman, right? The mailman. What did the mailman do? Or the predicate, what the subject, it's about what the subject is or what the subject does. What the subject is, what the subject does. Well, the subject in this case walked. That's our predicate. Walked up the stairs, complete predicate. That's specifically what he did, right? Wait for my menu to go in. A pilot flies a plane. What's our subject here, guys? A pilot flies a plane. Well, who or what it's about? It's about a pilot. What does a pilot do? He flies. What the subject, remember, predicate. What the subject is, what the subject does. In this case, our subject's a pilot. Our pilot flies a plane. So that's our last sentence, I think. A subject and predicate. Let's write one up together. The teacher wrote on the board. That's what my sentence is going to be. The teacher wrote on the board. Actually, let's change it up here. Not just the teacher, but the 4th grade teacher wrote on the board. Let's find the complete subject. Complete subject. Remember, subject, I'm going to go back here. Complete subject. Oh, I want predicate though. Complete subject. Who or what the sentence is about. Who or what the sentence is about. And the complete version of that is everything that's about. Well, let's start by finding the simple subject. Who or what is it about? Teacher, teacher. Teacher. It's about a teacher. But what specific kind of teacher? The whole thing describing that teacher. A 4th grade teacher, right? I'm going to draw a line between the two. So what's our complete predicate? Remember, a predicate, what the subject is or what a subject does. What a subject is or what a subject does. Well, what does the teacher do in our sentence? Wrote on the board. Teacher wrote. 4th grade teacher wrote. Complete predicate on the board. It's describing everything the subject did, everything the complete subject did. Okay. Let's do one more. Right, one more sentence together. The 2-year-old girl cried for her cereal. I'm basing this off real life events with my daughter. The 2-year-old girl cried for cereal. What's our subject here, guys? I'm going to use blue for it. Subject. One more time. Who or what the sentence is about. What's that sentence about? Who or what is that sentence about? Girl. I want the complete subject though. Who specifically is this about? Get more specific. Complete subject. The 2-year-old girl, right? The 2-year-old girl. What's our predicate? Use red for my predicate here. Predicate. What the subject is or what the subject does. In our case, the 2-year-old girl does what? The 2-year-old girl cried for her cereal. Complete predicate. Okay? The 2-year-old girl cried for her cereal. Subject, predicate. Subject, predicate. 4th grade teacher wrote on the board. Complete subject, complete predicate. I'm going to be asking you in an assignment here to look for these things, to look for the subjects, to look for the predicates. Okay? All right, guys.